that she'll start it. Mr. Ratcliffe, here to lead us in prayer.
Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the many blessings, Father, that you give us each and every day, Father. We do thank you, Father, for this county. Father, we just ask you blessings upon those commissioners, Father, that they do anything that might be in your will, Lord, just anything that they say, anybody says, may be pleasing to you, Lord. We ask these things, Lord, in your ever so holy name.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, under unfinished business, need to approve the minutes of the April 27th regular board meeting. Commissioner Searcy, do you notice any errors or omissions in the minutes?
No, sir.
Commissioner Patterson?
I have none, Chairman.
I'll ask for a motion that we approve the minutes from the April 27th meeting, regular meeting.
I make a motion.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Minutes approved. Sir. Still under unfinished business, I apologize for not putting it on there. I need a motion to approve the open public hearing that we had last Tuesday.
I make a motion, approve,
Okay.
open meeting.
I'll second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, going into new business now, number 3, we have a proclamation declaring the month of May Mental Health Awareness Month. It's presented by the Family Connections board member, Ms. Morris.
If it's okay, I'll ask that members of the Collaborative of Family Connection join us.
Absolutely.
That'll be fine. Hey, how you doing? Good.
Come right up here. Come on in here.
See ya.
Y'all like each other. All there over here to the side. Now, where's the men?
Come out here on that. That's fine.
Okay, let's, everybody got to smile real big. Except for Shannon, she just was smiling. We're gonna do one more.
Okay.
Hey.
Y'all.
I
got it.
One, two, three.
All right, so I'm going to read this here at the bottom. That's all right with y'all. It says, as the chairman I also call upon the citizens, government agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, and schools in Fannin County to recommit our community to increasing awareness and understanding of mental health. The steps our citizens can take to protect their mental health and the need for appropriate and accessible services for all people with mental health conditions. So I will sign these. All right, Bill.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much.
Thank y'all, we appreciate it. Appreciate everything y'all do.
Y'all do a great
I
job.
know that
Thank you.
it goes
Thank you
unnoticed
so
a lot,
much. Thank you.
but we do appreciate everything
Thank you.
y'all do for us. Thank Okay, number 4, we have a reappointment of Zach Ratcliffe to the Fannin County Water Authority Board. This appointment comes by Post 1 Commissioner Johnny Searcy.
Yes, sir. Would like to represent.
Okay,
Who's that?
he would like to reappoint Mr. Ratcliffe to the Water Authority.
No objections.
Okay, I have no objections either. So I will ask for a motion that we reappoint Mr. Ratcliffe to the Fannin County Water Authority Board. I'll ask for that
I make-
motion. You make the motion?
Motion,
Got
I
it.
make a motion.
All right. I'll second the motion. All in favor? Okay. We should have asked Mr. Ratcliffe if he'd be willing to take that.
Yeah, it don't matter, it pays.
I'm good.
Well, while we're on Mr. Ratcliffe, we pointed to the board. Now you're gonna ask us for some money, looks like. So come on.
I don't know about that, but you know.
I'm gonna have to rethink that, I guess.
Too late. Good afternoon, Commissioners.
After that.
I've got a need, for a piece of equipment, it's a track hoe. We've got a piece of equipment out there, we're estimating it being 2004, we're not really sure on the year, I've tried to find it there, but it's a TB 135. It's got almost it's got 7,000 hours on it, so its life is pretty much over. And with all these storms we've been having, we've got one in the shop now, and it is a Kubota, and it's having a little issue, but we're getting it worked out. But we're just about out of piece of equipment to pick up trees or whatever, because that's a main tool we use for that. I have found a used one. I wouldn't really call it used, but it is used one. And it is a KX 057, and it's a 2019 with 194 hours on it. It's basically a year. It does have some warranty left on it, so it's not warranty less. This thing is $57,700. And you is probably it's going to be something similar to this if you could get one, because there's actually a shortage of them now. They're in the 60s, in the upper 60s.
Okay. So we would save about 10 grand opposed to a brand new
Yes, sir.
one.
Yes, sir.
It's still warranty, as you
Yeah.
said. It's
Yeah.
good,
Yeah.
good.
And this thing's used daily. It's not like it's something that's going to be sitting around. We use it daily.
And we only have basically one that's running.
Right. One that is running.
Okay.
The Takahuchi that we've got out there now, it's just I don't know, like I said, it's a 2004, and that thing's got 7,000 hours on it. It's piece and parts to death, so it's something all the time.
Okay.
What are you gonna do with those?
We'll keep it for backup or not. It's not, you know, not say we just scrap it out, but it would be backup in case something happened. We could put it out there as a third one, but it's, you know, like I say, it's costing us to use, so we're gonna use it just for backup.
By the way the county's growing, you see a lot more
Oh.
use of it
Yeah,
every
yeah,
year.
right.
Commissioner Searcy, you got anything on that, sir?
Zach did have a little bit of warranty with it, didn't it?
Yes, sir, it did.
Okay, and that's gonna be good when the other one, when the other one comes back, you'll have a good backup too then, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
And this is gonna be paying out of SWAT. Well, my thoughts on it would be, obviously as the county is growing, we do have a need for other equipment as well. If we can save 10 grand over a new one and, still have warranty on this one, I would make the motion that we purchase, this piece of equipment for the road department. Can I get a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Uh,
All right,
Thank you, Commissioner. Well,
you better take care of it.
definitely.
I want it waxed and polished every day.
Right.
Don't come back.
Okay. Number 6, Mr. Cook, our Director of 911. He has bid proposals for radio console system for Fannin County 911. These are sealed bids. People started throwing them in my door this morning. So, we will open those bids and we will go from there. I was kind of worried on some of those large boxes. I thought I heard one of them ticking. I was like, uh-oh, that's not a good thing.
Oh, I like this one, it tells me straight up front. This is the bid from Radio One Incorporated out of Norcross, Georgia. Total project cost $206,302.
And I apologize, who was that again?
Radio One Incorporated.
And does it say which system? I think they were gonna get 2 different systems.
Well, I wondered because of the way.
Okay, this is for the Zetron system, and then. Do they have another one?
No, these just look like
Okay.
the three of the same thing. All of us understand dollars. You're gonna have to explain the difference in the systems. Maybe that Sherry can be technical on that. All right, this is Fleet
It's
Talk.
Gunby Communications.
Who was that?
Gunby Communications out of Toccoa.
Okay,
It'd be for a telex system. Total system cost with options, $127,565.
now Patrick is all these warranties and stuff.
They do, but we would like time to just review and make sure that, they're all providing the same equipment, same warranties.
Okay,
I think this big box here was to fool you because of this little thing.
That's the one that was ticking.
Well, then let me hand it back.
Thank you.
Okay, the next one's from Williams Communications. Total project cost $308,611.72. And I'm not sure what brand they're bidding, but I'll have to dig into that a little more just to make sure.
And where's Williams Communication out of?
They're based out of Tallahassee, Florida. Okay, it looks like they're also quoting a Zetron system.
Zetron. And is that pretty much the case with the other two Zetron systems? Or do you want to look at it first? before you-
Gunby is quoting a telex system, and Radio One is quoting a Zetron system. Okay, and then we have one from Mobile Communications out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. They currently service the consoles that are out of service now. And they're quoting a Zetron system as well, $272,211.
Any more bids, Patrick? That it?
That's it.
Okay.
Patrick, I guess it seems like the Neutron system is a little higher. Are they better? Compare the two.
I believe the features, they have more features than the cheaper system, but I would like to make sure that it
We'll
would
have
give us
time to
time to
review.
go through it and make sure they are all equal.
Okay.
Sure.
You want to bring this up, back up later
At a
on?
later meeting.
Table?
Well, let's do just that. Let's table it till our next meeting, 2 weeks, you think? We can,
That should be fine.
okay, all right. We'll table this till our next meeting.
All right.
We have to make a motion.
Okay, I'll make a motion, we table this till the next meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Done.
All right. Which brings us to number 7, our insurance broker for health care benefits for county employees for July the 1st of 2021 through June the 30th of 2022.
You looking for a vote?
Not so much a vote, just maybe if we can discuss that a little bit. Do you have any discussion on that, based on what we heard this afternoon?
Johnny, did you say something?
Yes, I'd like to know exactly, see something in writing on what, these fees are, where I can pretty much choose from that way, and, you know, I just need to look over that.
Mr. Chairman, are we gonna get bids, or is this gonna be the end deal?
Well,
What's the process after this, I guess what I'm trying to say?
Ms. Doss, maybe you can help us out on that. So, obviously, we heard the brokers come before us this afternoon prior to this meeting. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't satisfied, and I say this, the reason I wasn't, because I didn't actually get a price out of anybody.
Right.
So, maybe there's something else that we need to send those 3 that have put their name in the hat, so to speak, to see if we can get some kind of bottom line dollar, based on the numbers that we have now.
Okay, as I understand, Mr. Cersey, can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
As I understand it, based on what I heard presented, our quotes are going to be basically the same regardless of who your broker is. In other words, United Healthcare is going to come back and say, Fannin County will provide you these services for this premium. Blue Cross Blue Shield will come back and say, Aetna will come back and say. Then from those proposed policies, and the policies are going to differ because you're going to pay one price per employee if the deductible's $500. You're going to pay another price if the deductible's $5,000. But whatever plan the commissioners vote to go with, then the brokers, the 3 parties that were here, will make a fee based on which plan you choose. So it's totally impossible, as I understand it, for any one of them or any broker to give you a price today because they don't know what plan you're going to choose. But the one thing that I understood, and I may have misunderstood, but as I understood it, BSI, Mr. Bidwell's, the broker fee was 2.5%. So if you're paying $100,000 in premiums, his fee would be $2,500. If you're paying $1 million in premiums, his fee would be the corresponding math problem, which I think is $25,000. The company that you have now, or the brokerage company that you have now, they said theirs was, I think what I read was 5.26.
That's what it's going to. Right now, they are 4.87.
But it's going to go up to 5.26. So on that same 100,000, you pay them 5,600. And if I understood Mr. Panner's company, they haven't told you yet. So if the product is cost the same, regardless of who the provider is, the insurance company, then for the county, the cost is based on what's the commission price, which in my scenario, one's going to be $2,500, one's going to be $5,600, and one's unknown. And then what is your customer service going to look like? Because if I understood them correct, their products are all going to be basically the same. And it's going to be like a buffet. Everybody is going to give you the same buffet, and then you have to pick and choose what plan you're going to offer to your employees. And I don't think that there's any way that you're going to get, I don't work for any of these people, but I don't think that any of them's going to go out and get you all of this information and bring it to you without knowing that they're going, because that's what they get paid on, without knowing that they're going to get your piece of the business. And I say that to say I think you've gotten just about all the information you're going to get on the front side. We know that we were told there would be this huge rate increase. So let's take that, that's the maximum dollars. Now it may be that you hire one of them and they can go out and negotiate and get you something a little different. It's going to come, maybe it could come down some, or maybe because the vast majority of people want to go to a $3,000 a year deductible as opposed to $2,500, you can get it down some. But if you look at what they gave you as this is my brokerage fee, and you take the maximum increase, then you determine what you'll be paying broker A, broker B, and broker C.
Well, we would have a problem because Mr. Painter did not give us a fee. So we don't have anything there, correct?
Well, I apologize, I was a little late, but I didn't hear him, and I asked the chairman had I missed it, and he said he didn't think one. And I don't think there was anything written, when the proposals came in, Sherry, Jesse, and I opened them and we read through them.
Well, what he said that I heard, he said it all depends. Now, I'm not for any of them either, but there's just a little bit of ambiguity here. And if we're looking to pick a broker tonight, what incentive does that broker have to reduce his price? He's already got the bid. I mean, we've already chosen him.
Oh, I think that if you, based on what I heard tonight, the three, and you're right, as I understand from Mr. Panner, my educated guess, sir, would say it's not any lower than the 2.5, but not any higher than the 5.26. Because quite frankly, they price themselves out of the market if they go above the 5.26. And they know the bottom line is 2.5 with the other guy, but they didn't stand up here and say they were willing to do 2.5. But we're up, and I know you know, but full disclosure, I don't have county insurance, so I'm not directly affected. I just work with all you folks. But these renew July the 1st. It is a process to get, I'm speaking now your language, it is a process to get all of these folks enrolled. And whoever your broker is going to have to go out. We know what we've been told is the maximum increase. If we want anything lower, they've got to have time to go out and find that.
Right.
And I mean, July the 1st, it's like, what, 6 weeks away? It's beginning to be pushing the envelope.
And I think price is an important component of that, but we've also got to remember things like customer service and about coverage overall. That is the total package of the value, I see. So they may not have the lowest price, but the best insurance plan may be.
Well, I keep stepping in front of Jesse, but I want Commissioner Cersei to be able to hear me. One thing that we looked at when we were just flipping through the proposed proposals is that, like, one company, you got credit for emergency room visits towards your deductible if it resulted in a hospital stay. But if it didn't result in a hospital stay, you didn't get credit towards your deductible. Or one had an emergency room charge of $300 and it all went towards your deductible, but the deductible proposed was $5,000. So then if the other company says, well, our emergency room is only $150, but our deductible our overall family deductible is more, that's when your broker comes in and starts evaluating your plans to decide, when you've got all this smorgasbord on the buffet, what's the better meal? What's the better choice? I think that's probably why they call some of those things cafeteria plans.
Right.
Because you're picking and choosing. And, you know, the starting point, the jumping off point for y'all is what's it costing per employee? Because you pay a portion of that. And then the second thing is, you've got to figure out how many people do I have that have employees plus, say, a family member.
Right.
Well, if the employee is $75 under Plan A or Company A, but family is $150, is that a better deal versus the one that employee's $85 but family's only $125?
Right.
And that's what, in part, as I understand it, what you're saying to your broker, go figure out for us. Bring us the best product at the best dollar.
Like a consultant.
Right, exactly. And going to your question of, well, they're getting a commission. So the higher the money, then
Better off.
they are. They pull that on you once, they won't be your broker next year.
There's a certain level of trust you've got to
Yeah,
have.
there's a level of trust, and there's a level of I want to be your broker today, but I want you to be your broker next year too.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
did you, just like where I'm at with the city, I have municipal insurance. Did you check with the county government of what kind of insurance they still provided?
Well, and here's the thing, and I think the question would be if, do we actually need a broker? Is that
Right.
maybe the question? Okay. So, for right now, you know, we may need a broker moving forward right now, and then we can reassess that. It actually gives us time as a county, as our human resources person, would have time to assess that moving forward. I think at the moment, we do need to make a decision, and let's go back just a little bit on that. We were talking about how long the broker, you know, I know we said we had to sign, you know, for the remainder of the term and stuff like that, but I also see this one actually goes from year to year.
You do not have to sign. The maximum you could sign
Okay,
is the
okay.
remainder of your term, and I apologize if I
No,
wasn't
no,
clear.
that's fine. I just done, that's kind of
Yeah.
what was said earlier. Now, that being said, what is the minimum? So let's just say, for instance, in 30 days, our broker, we just decide, you know, that's not what we thought, or in 60 days. What is there a minimum requirement? And obviously, we would have to put that out in writing, you know, telling the broker that we need to part ways or make a different decision. Is that, what are the legalities regarding that?
Typically in your brokerage contract, it's going to have cancelable, can be canceled by either party upon X number of days' notice.
Okay.
I mean,
And that would be the question, is the X amount of days.
right, and that's something that you would, I think you'd almost have to determine who you're going with, and then you would negotiate with them for what that would be.
Okay.
Excuse me,
Yes, sir.
my problem that I'm having is that you're telling me that we have to come up with a plan for our employees, and where I'm lost here is that the city, they provided us 3 different plans. They knew that our insurance was going up a percentage, so we got to choose from the 3 plans that the insurance company provided through the municipal association. Don't we have the same type of options being county?
Yes, I mean, they'll come, the broker would come to us and say, here's plan A, plan B, and plan C, and typically, we have a meeting, the county has a meeting with your various, constitutional officers, elected officials, and before they've had everybody that wanted to come, but they've opened it up to the, other elected officials to see if anybody wanted to weigh in. And Commissioner Cersei, I don't know, and I'm looking at Ms. Walker because she does have the county's insurance. When you say, I'm an employee, then do you get to choose what your deductible is per person, or is it everybody has the same deductible?
Well, like UHC that we have right now, this is where they were talking about the fusion plan. That fusion plan is a wellness plan, and the more you put into that, the lower your premiums and deductibles and stuff. That actually helps you pay. You can have the traditional plan, which is a little bit more, and I think the fusion plan was only like maybe $3 less in the premium cost of what the traditional plan was for just a single person.
And then,
Okay.
then you can add, like, do you want, long-term disability or short-term disability? Do you want vision? Do you want dental? And some of the proposals that, Jesse, Sherry, and I looked at, there was no additional charge for those things. Some companies charged more. And that's one of the things that the broker should go out and evaluate and say, of the various components, this we would propose for you.
Okay. I think you understand my concern, and you've been very helpful as far as clarity on this, but let me explain to you where I am as a commissioner. I have a major issue with us sitting up here giving a 3% raise, and then when I'm talking to the people out here on these tractors cutting the roads and stuff, and I'm talking to these people, and they say that they're making $12.60, because I asked them about their 3%, and they said that it takes everything they make to pay their family insurance, and he can't even put stuff back into his retirement. And I, as a commissioner, this is me, that really upsets me. It makes me mad, because to me it's embarrassing. I couldn't work for $12.60, let alone drive a $60,000, $70,000 tractor, and we're trusting him to do it. So I want to provide, when I say good benefits for the county employees, I'm not trying to let the county employee take over county funds by no means, but I'm trying to be fair and balanced, and I'm trying to get good work and make them proud that they work for the county by what we provide. So if we can get to a situation we can afford to give them good benefits and they can make a good wage, then we're gonna get good work and they're gonna be happy employees. That's the way I see it. I've done it for 40 years, working at the police department, and didn't pay nothing. But we make good benefits and money finally come. So that's where I stand. And Ms. Dawes, you have helped me understand this a lot this evening. So saying that, I just want to do the ABC thing, or the 1, 2, 3 thing, as far as knowing what kind of plan I think would be good. If the employees say, hey, I can do plan B, I'm good with plan C, or I'm good with plan A. I want them to have the choice, but I want to vote for the best benefit for them.
And I do think Commissioner Searcy, in order to get to that, because I'm looking at these gentlemen nod their head in agreement with what your sentiments, is you're gonna have to, for the year that is gonna be July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2022, you're going to have to select a broker sooner rather than later, or July 1st is gonna come and you're gonna have people who are gonna have gaps in insurance.
Got you, good.
Yeah, and the broker, Ms. Walker correctly, she simplified it. The broker's gotta go get a product. Somebody's got to go get the A, B, and C and bring it to you for y'all to vote to determine. And part of it, you're gonna have to vote to determine who's the broker. Then the products are gonna come in. And after hearing input from your employees, whether or not it's directly with the employees or with the elected officials they work under, which of these seem to be idea? And then the individuals have got to sign up. But before the individuals have to sign up, then you as employers, you as the Board of Commissioners, have to determine of this dollar, of this monthly premium amount, what percentage can we pay? Whether or not it's 100%, 85%, what percentage can we pay?
Typically,
Is there any way
we pay most
we
of it,
can
right?
include the retirement back in?
Pardon?
Is there any way that we can include the retirement back in instead of the 401k?
That would be
Sir, I'm going to tell you, that is a very legitimate question, but it really has nothing to do with the insurance. We can certainly explore that, but it's part of the benefit package, but it's not anything the insurance broker would do.
Okay.
And I think there was one other question, I believe that Commissioner Searcy was trying to get at as well. Working for the city of Blue Ridge, did they have a broker, or was there somebody in that position at the city to handle the insurance? And the second part of that question, you may know, may not know. Well, is there somebody there to do that first and
The
foremost?
city of Blue Ridge has had their insurance for the last few years, and I can't tell you how far back, with the Georgia Municipal Association. And it's just like the county has its liability insurance with through ACCG, and we don't have a broker per se, but we certainly have somebody that handles our accounts, and when we need them, and we pick up the phone and call them.
And how many employees does the city have compared to what the county has? I know we have around 250.
I think we have about 52, 53 right now.
So they have about, so you have
So there
about
may
5
be
times.
a difference
Oh,
in
absolutely.
there as well. So,
Absolutely.
okay.
Chairman Helton, too, and Ms. Dawson knows this, and we've got our distinguished superintendent back there at schools, Mr. Watney. Do we have a broker for the school system?
Yes, we utilize a broker in certain instances for insurance.
You choose a broker?
Yes.
Choose me. Okay.
Is it a good broker? No. Sorry. It was getting a little stale. I figured I'd make some.
One other question, Mr. Dawes, is this broker going to, since he is a consultant as well, is he going to recommend the best insurance policy?
Oh,
of
yeah.
A, B, and C?
Absolutely.
So he'll recommend,
Yes, and I'm gonna tell you.
and there'll
you're-
be different policies, I mean,
Right,
different
yes.
companies.
And you will have,
That's actually in the, some of the examples are in the proposals,
Yeah.
that, the booklets.
and I was gonna pick on the sheriff, but he left, so I still pick on the sheriff. But if you come back with a product that has a $10,000 per person deductible, but you're only paying $79.85 per person, hey, I'm gonna pay 100% of the employee expense. You're gonna have your elected officials, your department heads, and some of the lowest paid people we've got standing here saying, that's not a benefit. So, and, I mean, and I have my home insurance with Mr. Fannin, and I've worked with Mr. Bigwell for, I don't know, 20 years. And of course, we've had these other folks for the last 3 years. Nobody's gonna bring you something like that because your employees are gonna eat your lunch.
Right.
Well, I think we're all in agreement, we want the best for the employees. I mean, honestly, moving forward, because it's, as an employee all my life, I always wanted the best, and I don't think our employees are any different. If they're gonna work for us, we need to provide them the best that we possibly can get and afford. So, Commissioner Searcy, anything else for you, sir?
No, sir.
Commissioner Patterson?
Are we preparing to vote?
Commissioner Searcy, you ready to vote on this?
Sir, if we must, we must. I mean, unless we can wait until the next meeting night, but we gotta get it in before July the 1st.
I don't think you can. I think you're already behind the 8 ball because when you look at it, we've really only got 6 weeks
For open
to
enrollment.
have made a decision and get ready for open enrollment.
Well, let's get on it.
Okay.
Commissioner Hensley, I'd like to, knowing that, and I'd like to say that due to a possible conflict of interest aspect, I will not be able, I'll need to recuse myself from voting.
Okay. You hear that, Mr. Searcy? Commissioner Searcy?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, all right. All right, based on what we heard in the earlier meeting, I will make a motion that we, make MSI our broker of choice, for the next, from July 1st of 2021 to June the 30th of 2022. But I would also like to see what those days, and I guess that would be something that we would negotiate, if Commissioner Searcy is with us on that time frame and the minimum days that they're allowable by writing to get out of that contract. So I'll make that motion that we go with MSI as our broker of choice. Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Okay. All right. MSI, Mr. Bidwell, you'll be our broker of choice. And we want the best for nothing. All right, brings us to public commentary. If anybody would like to say something, please raise your hand, come up to the podium, state your name and address and sign and your name would be great. Just raise your hand, come up and say a few words. Anybody? I know I didn't bore you to death that once. Anybody not got anything to say this evening? Okay, we will close public commentary. Commissioner Patterson, do you have any need for executive session this evening?
I do not, Commissioner. I do not have any need for that at this time.
Commissioner Searcy, do you have a need for?
No,
Mm-mm. Okay,
No, sir.
all right. I will make a motion that we adjourn. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Uh,
Thank you all for coming.